Nigeria's news updates today, May 12, 2026. 2027, why did not choose Peter Obi as the strongest political ally, says Kwankwaso. APC screens out Fubara loyalists, orders from Rivers Assembly primaries, approves Wike-backed aspirants. INEC to deploy 1.4 million NYSC members for 2027 general elections. Presidency releases statements from the Office of the Secretary General of the Federation. UTME no longer required for colleges of education admission, says Minister. Federal government introduces compulsory drug tests for secondary school students. Repeat offenders risk suspension. NPFL title race goes down to final day as Rangers, Rivers United battle for crown. Now, let us go to the news in details. Rabiu Kwankwaso said northern political leaders chose Peter Obi as their preferred ally for the 2027 presidential race after assessing who could work honestly with them to move Nigeria forward. Kwankwaso dismissed claims of a hidden rivalry between his camp and Obi's within the NDC alliance. He said political conflicts between leaders and their deputies usually stem from greed rather than structural problems. Kwankwaso explained that the alliance combines his strong grassroots influence in northern Nigeria with Obi's popularity among youth and urban voters across the country. He also defended the NDC's decision to zone his 2027 presidential ticket to the south, describing it as a move toward fairness, unity, and national healing. He linked the partnership to past North-Southeast political collaboration in Nigeria, citing former leaders such as Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Shehu Shagari, and Alex Ekweme as examples of successful alliances. Kwankwaso stressed that Obi was chosen not simply because power was being shifted to the south, but because northern leaders believed he was the most capable partner. He added that the alliance is already attracting defections from other parties. He further affirmed his readiness to be Obi's running mate when asked during an interview if he would accept the position of vice presidential candidate if Obi emerges as the presidential candidate of the party. Kwankwaso responded in the affirmative, saying, "If the party decides that I should be the running mate of any candidate from the south under the circumstances, I will be happy to work together with him," he said. Still on the politics of 2027, the All Progressive Congress APC in Rivers State has disqualified 65 out of 98 aspirants seeking to contest the party's House of Assembly primaries, with many of those affected believed to be loyal to Governor Siminalayi Fubara. According to the APC Screening Committee report, the main reason for the disqualification was failure to meet the party's constitutional requirement that members must be fully registered and financially up to date. Sources within the party, however, claimed the move targeted Fubara's allies amid ongoing political rift between the governor and FCT minister Nyesom Wike. Only 23 aspirants were cleared, many reportedly linked to Wike's camp. The development is expected to deepen political tensions in Rivers State and could lead to fresh legal battles ahead of the assembly elections. Meanwhile, Wike said in quote, "I am not a member of the APC, so I don't know what is happening in their screening. Even if they publish the results, why would I comment? I don't know the reasons they have," end of quote. Still in the politics of 2027, but let us move to the umpire, the Oga Patapata, the INEC. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced that it will deploy more than 1.4 million ad hoc personnel for the 2027 general elections, with a large portion expected to come from the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC). INEC Chairman Joash Amupitan explained that corps members have remained central to election management in the country, often serving as presiding officers and registration area officers across polling units nationwide. According to him, INEC deployed about 1.2 million ad hoc staff in the 2023 elections, with over 70% being corps members and students, and the commission is projecting an even larger involvement in 2027. He noted that 707,384 corps members are expected to be used for the presidential and national assembly elections scheduled for January 16, 2027, while the same numbers will also be required for governorship and state assembly elections set for February 6, 2027, in addition to other off-cycle and by-elections across several states. Amupitan praised corps members for their neutrality discipline, and ability to handle digital electoral tools like the BVAS system, while also acknowledging the risk they face during the election duties. He assured that INEC is working to improve their welfare, insurance coverage, and security arrangements. In response, NYSC Director General Olakunle Oluseye Nafiu reaffirmed the scheme's commitment to supporting credible elections, describing corps members as reliable and well-suited for electoral assignments, while also calling for better welfare and compensation for those deployed. Let us move to major government appointments and policy reforms, especially in the educational sector. President Bola Tinubu has appointed retired Major General Adeyinka Pamadewa as Special Advisor on Homeland Security to strengthen Nigeria's internal security coordination and intelligence cooperations. According to a statement from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the appointment reflects the administration's commitment to improving interagency collaboration and tackling emergency security threats. Pamadewa, a retired senior military officer with over 30 years of experience in intelligence and counter-terrorism, previously served as Principal General Staff Officer to the National Security Advisor between 2015 and 2021. During that period, he led the creation of the Intelligence Fusion Center, which improved coordination among key security agencies including the DSS, DIA, NIA, police, and the armed forces. After retirement, he worked as a senior research fellow at the Nigerian Army Resource Center in Abuja, focusing on policing and national security reforms. Now we move to major announcements in the educational sector. The Nigerian government has announced that from 2026 to 2027 admission session, candidates applying for education courses and non-engineering agriculture programs will no longer need to write the UTME. Minister of Education Tunji Alausa revealed the policy during JAMB's annual admission policy meeting in Abuja. He explained that candidates with at least 4 relevant credit passes can apply to colleges of education without taking the UTME. However, affected candidates must still register with JAMB for documentation and admission processes through the Central Admissions Processing System (CAPS), where their credentials will be verified before admission is granted. Still in the educational sector, but now to secondary school, the federal government has introduced mandatory drug testing for secondary school students across Nigeria under new national guidelines aimed at curbing rising substance abuse among teenagers. Under the policy, all newly admitted students will undergo compulsory drug tests during admission, while schools must also conduct periodic and random drug screenings at least once every academic session in collaboration with approved health facilities. Students found positive for drug use will face a 3-stage intervention process. First-time offenders will receive counseling and treatment within the school. Those who test positive again will be referred to professionals for specialized treatment, while repeated offenders may face disciplinary suspension and rehabilitation outside school environment. The guidelines also prohibit students from possessing or using narcotic or controlled substances without school approval. For those students on prescribed medication must disclose them during admission through parents or guardians. The government said the measures are necessary due to growing concerns about the impact of drug abuse on students' academics, mental health, discipline, and school security. Other sweeping reform in the academic sector. The federal government has pegged the minimum admission marks at 150 JAMB cutoff mark for both private and public universities in Nigeria. Also, FG retains 16 years as minimum age for admission into tertiary institutions. Then lastly, on the Nigerian Premier Football League. The Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) title race will go to the final day after both leaders Enugu Rangers and second place Rivers United won their week 37 matches. Enugu Rangers beat Bendel Insurance 2-1, remaining top with 65 points. Rivers United came from behind twice to defeat Wiki Tourist 3-2 away, keeping them 1 point behind on 64 points. In other results, 3SC climbed to 3rd place with a 1-0 win. Defending champions Remo Stars escaped the relegation zone by beating Bayelsa United 2-1. Kwara United, already relegated, beat Enyimba 2-0. Abia Warriors Continental hopes ended with a shock 0-2 home loss to Kun Khalifa. The 2025-2026 NPFL champions will be